Hello pixels of the internet, welcome to this objective personality rundown. I want to make this as quick as I can, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, just explaining the bare basics of the system. So I'm not going to be going into detail in any of the aspects. I'm basically going to be stating what they are and defining them and giving a very brief explanation of how they work. If you want to know more, check out the links in the description from other YouTube channels and things like that where you can learn stuff from. Okay, so what is objective personality? Objective personality is a system that's based on the Jungian cognitive functions, but the difference between objective personality and the other typology systems out there is it doesn't just have 16 personalities, it actually multiplies that 16 by 32, creating 32 different subtypes of each of the 16 personalities. So that totals 512 personalities. I know, just calm down. I'm going to explain how we get there. So, this is an objective personality type. So you might be wondering, what does this mean? That looks like utter gibberish to me. Well, you've come to the right place. So objective personality is made up of basically 9 different elements. So as you go deeper into the system, that's how you get more types, basically. So at the core of the system, every personality type fits into 2 broad categories: observers and deciders. Observers essentially have thing problems and deciders essentially have people problems. Everybody has all sorts of problems, but it's just observers' lives are ruined by things and deciders' lives are ruined by people. So objective personality states that everybody has 4 human needs. These are the need to gather variety of new information, to organize your known information, to achieve certainty, to seek connection through a tribe, and significance of the self. Every personality is going to be balanced between 2 of these and imbalanced between the other 2. Observers are not very balanced when it comes to gather and organize, whereas they are balanced when it comes to self and tribe. Deciders aren't very balanced when it comes to self and tribe, whereas they are quite balanced on gather and organize. So in other words, in MBTI terms, deciders are IPs and EJs, and observers are IJs and EPs. IP's lead human need is self, EJ's lead human need is tribe, IJ's lead human need is organize, and EP's lead human need is gather. You might have noticed that gather and tribe are associated with the extroverted personality types, and self and organized are associated with the introverted personality types. In other words, gather is an extroverted observer, or OE. Organize is an introverted observer, or OI. Tribe is an extroverted decider, or DE. And self is an introverted decider, or DI. If you're familiar with other systems, this is similar to the judging and perceiving functions. So when you combine the human needs alongside thinking, feeling, intuition and sensing, you get the cognitive functions. As an example, values plus identity equals personal values. So that's FI. Here's a list of the function definitions. Now, objective personality states that you're not only using one function at a time. In fact, you're using 2 in combination. And these 2 functions combined create what objective personality calls an animal. So there are 4 different animals in objective personality. Those are split into 2 broad categories: info and energy. So the 2 information animals are consume and blast, and the 2 energy animals are sleep and play. Consume is concerned with gathering in information for the self, or OE plus DI. Blast is concerned with organizing known information and giving it to the tribe, or OI plus DE. Sleep is concerned with going over known information for the self, or OI plus DI, and play is concerned with gathering new information for the tribe, or OE plus DE. So take a look at these two personalities here. I have an EP and an IJ. What you'll notice is that the first two functions of an EP are OE and DI. So therefore, the EP's first animal is consume. On the other side, the IJ has OI and DE as the first two functions. So therefore, the IJ's first animal is blast. Following the same logic, IPs have consume as their lead animal, and EJs have blast as their lead animal. Now, this is the standard IJ and the standard EP. However, you can get other types of IJs and EPs who don't use their second function in their first animal and instead jump over it and use their third. These types are called jumpers. So the EP jumper will be using OE and DE, and the IJ jumper will be using OI and DI. So if you notice, the EP jumper leads with play and the IJ jumper leads with sleep. Following the same logic, the EJ jumper leads with play and the IP jumper leads with sleep. You have to have in your first two animals one info and one energy animal. Here's a list of the possible combinations. In a similar fashion, your last two animals have to be one energy and one info animal. If blast and consume are in the top three animals, that's called info dominant. And if sleep and play are in the top three animals, that's called energy dominant. Info dominants have an easier time taking in information for the self and giving information to the tribe. Energy dominants have an easier time expending energy for the tribe and preserving energy for the self. Another component of objective personality is activation. So out of your four functions, two of your functions will be single activated and two of your functions will be double activated. Double activation means that your functions are used twice in the first three animals. So for example, in this type, TI is used twice in consume and sleep, and SI is used twice in sleep and blast. Therefore, TI and SI are double activated. In other words, the sleep animal is double activated. An easier way to find this is by looking at the last animal and looking at the animal that's on the other side of that coin. So for example, if you have consume last, your blast will be double activated. Some personality types have their last function double activated. These types of personalities are called glass lizards. What that means is you'll have an easier time seeing and accessing your fourth function than other types. The last element of objective personality is masculine and feminine functions. Masculine functions push and shove, feminine functions are movable or adaptable. If you have masculine feeling, you'll have feminine thinking, and vice versa. Thanks a lot for sticking this far. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, and leave your comments down below if you want. And yeah, get back to you soon. Thanks, bye.
You want to know how to be successful? Do your bloody demons!